Alright, finally gonna do a tier list. I don't think I'm going to be putting them in order in each tier again, mainly because Hoyoung and Adele are not on this list, so it'll be kind of hard to manipulate the images too. So we'll start at the top, I suppose. So unsurprisingly, right away, at the very top, I guess we'll start with the one everyone knows. Kana is very high for the reasons of, very high damage, 2-minute cooldown binds, one which is the longest in the game, at least on reboot, being 15 seconds. Has Foxfire, blocks status effects, can block a lot of things like... Actually, I was thinking of a Pink Barrier. So status effects is great. Pink Barriers is also really good, can block like cracks and purple balls. Full screen FMAs, I think reduces bomb damage, it heals. It has most things. It can up jump, hover in the air with either Exorcist Charm or Orochi. So overall, pretty good, unsurprisingly. Teleport class, ethereal form. It does lack a true iframe, but it has a lot of escapes regardless. What else is up here? Arc, very similar reasons. For party and solo bossing has this, self-bind. Spectre mode has super stance. I think you have 2 iframes. One is the full screen movie, and then the other is the pool thing. I think one of them is on relatively short cooldown. Dishes out a decent amount of damage. Hoyoung and Adele are here. They're not on this, but I'll add them in. I think Cadena is pretty top tier. Very high damage. A lot of mobility options. Can stay mid-air for quite a while if you have good control. Self-bind, iframe. You can even manipulate yourself to have dark side, I believe, if you do the chain correctly. That's very good. Demon Slayer. Why Demon Slayer? Demon Slayer has almost all of it. 2 very short cooldown iframes. One is the Raven thing, Raven Storm. I think it heals you too. And then Metamorphosis as well. You can ignore damage reflect, ignore damage cancel. You can glide up and then hover, staying off the ground for a very long time. As a warrior, you can proc your super stance. Lots of lines. So iframes, lines, self-bind, 2-minute cooldown as well. Very good. Self-heals, yep. Very, very strong. What else did I have up here previously? Shade, right? Where's our friend Shade? This is alphabetical? I guess so. Shade has split. It has its bind and its split are actually longer than 2 minutes, but you can use Spirit Flow every 2 minutes, which resets the cooldown of those 2 skills, which effectively makes them 2-minute cooldowns. So your self-bind and your self-split or party split are both effectively 2 minutes cooldown, and Spirit Flow resets skill resets, including Yorozu, which can stun bosses additionally. You have your own Foxfire type skill as well. I think it's Spirit Ward, block statuses. It's actually shorter cooldown than Kana, 45 seconds compared to 60. So you actually have more uptime on that. I think they're changing it in the future to be a bit less friendly. I think that might be the Kana change. Can't recall. Where it'll refresh even though you haven't used all the charges. That might be Kana. In any event, it has statuses. It has 1 true iframe. Incantation. It's kind of a long cooldown. But yeah, you have backstep, you have sort of a TP. Pretty simple to play as well, not too much just debuff and then buy and split and then just be mobile. Freud's as well, so iframe, I suppose. So it's pretty strong and very good for party bossing. For the purposes of cooldown reset and having split and being high survivability. Very good. Alright, SS wise, I had someone else appear as well. Oh, I guess, wait. Let's add all the ones from the list we can before we add in Adele and Hoyam. Wind Archer and DB, true. Alright, let's do Wind Archer. Wind Archer is SS tier because of Gale Barrier. It's sort of like a BOD. You can survive a lot of hits. Things just miss you. You have your little Scooty skill. And then solo bossing, you have your Crystal. It's like the old Target Dummy, Straw Dummy, or DB's Mirror Image, but better. Because it doesn't mess up familiars. If you didn't know, if you use familiars with DB's Mirror Image, it doesn't work. The boss's attention will not be on your mirror image. It messes up the aggro. Whereas Wind Archer's puppet skill fully works with familiars. So the boss's attention never changes. So pretty good damage, good survivability, and the crystal alone makes it very good. Okay. Then next we have Dual Blade. 2 iframes, pretty short cooldown. Super Stance, Up Jump, Dark Sight, Advanced Dark Sight, Mirrored Image, Mirror Target. For solo bossing, I would say it does have some weaknesses. Its main burst skill is a Hurricane. You may have to reposition and lose that damage. Other than that, like your melee, but your highest damage skills are on relatively short cooldown and it's not too hard to land them. Okay. So, as far as from the available list, for me, I think that's all the SS's, in my opinion, from the list. But then we add in like Adele, of course. Very high damage. You have your own shield thing, you have a very short cooldown, iframe that you can adjust the duration on. Cannon Master? Cannon Master's iframe got nerfed from 3 seconds to 1.8, I believe. I guess, I don't know. Are they still top tier? The bullet also got nerfed too. Low cooldown, high mobility. Cannon Master. So like a 45 second cooldown. Zero? I don't know enough about Zero, is the only problem. We don't have it on Reboot. This is kind of Reboot specific. Cannon. I guess, I don't know, like would you really consider Cannoneer in the same tier as all these other classes that we have already? Does that really belong up there? Or maybe like 1 tier lower? I don't think so. I think it's like down here. Hero? No. Solo and party? Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Especially with the nerf. Alright, let's talk about Adele. Adele, pretty decent mobility, short cooldown backstep, which is like works as a teleport. Can TP through hazards. A party shell that can be very, very strong and block even some one-shots, 80% damage reduction. An iframe that's very flexible, very short cooldown as well. Very high damage currently. In the future, it's still pretty decently high damage. I mean, utility-wise, the shield protects your party members too. so it's not bad at all. It is kind of a long cooldown, but if you cooldown skip, you could cast it more often. But it's mainly here because of its survivability and just the raw damage. Then we got Ho Young. I would consider Ho Young SS. Why? Ho Young, arguably even more mobility than Adele. A lot of your skills have different mobility aspects that a lot of people don't utilize. You can cloud in the middle of flash jumping. You can maintain mid-air height for a very long time. Your iframe is one of the best in the game for like pure safety and utility. It's not the best for pure damage, of course, since you can't do anything in it. Super, super, super high burst. Extreme mobility. Like almost all your skills have some aspect of mobility versus sliding around, TPing up horizontally, floating to your desire, and staying mid-air. You can like cloud up, use your flame skill to go up, and then cloud again because that resets your cloud, then enter your iframe, then out of your iframe. If you wait long enough, then you can use the fire again and then cloud again. Like you can stay airborne for a very long time if you need to. So you can TP around, it's got really high damage. It's gonna be one of the best bosses in the game. Very high damage, high survivability, high mobility, high everything. Just a bit annoying to set everything up though. You gotta make sure all your buffs are up, you gotta summon stuff, and I guess in the current patch, the bind is much better. It's much faster. Currently it's so slow. Projectile bind. It does have a self bind too, as does Adele, both self binds. Self bind is very good. Okay, so I think that's all our SS tiers. S tier is going to be classes that are not quite SS, still very good, but not the best. And this is based on my opinion, and I am not omnipotent from what I've seen. Alright, got Cannoneer here, many lines. Short cooldown iframe, though it has been nerfed from 3 to 1.8 seconds. Ho Young boss, awkward to boss with. If you have mastery over the class, it shouldn't be. You just need mastery. Okay, Cannoneer. Lots of lines. High mobility, like triple jump. Very short cooldown iframe. Decent survivability because of that, though it has been nerfed. It should still be quite a good class. Just for those. Lumi, another hero class. It has Freud's. Its bind is an iframe. Self-bind. It has a status resist skill. It's kind of long cooldown. Blocks like 2 things. Lots of lines. The burst is pretty impressive. Baptism is pretty strong. In equilibrium, pretty good mobility. Outside of it, but pretty solid overall. Okay, what else is in SS? Sorry. Oh, that's not hero. That's a Dark Knight. Let's go somewhere else first. I would still say Nighlord's very strong, simply because of how much damage it has. Its burst is going to be up more often now too, with the latest GMS patch. And as some individuals have proven, even though it lacks survivability compared to Dual Blade, you can still do similar things just from sheer damage. And they're going to be getting even more damage. So, Dark Side is still very strong. Just having basic Dark Side and Shadow Walker is very, very high survivability. And just the sheer amount of damage is insane. Well, that's what I have to say for Night Lord. I still consider it a very good class. And the things I was referencing was someone, a Night Lord soloing Hardwill on Reboot. And I think the same person did Gloom previously. Chaos Gloom. So I just gotta do a lot of damage and don't die. Okay. S tier wise. Yeah, I'll put Nightwalker here. Nightwalker, I believe it's the highest lines in the game. Lots and lots and lots and lots of lines. Why is Nightwalker not SS tier? No advanced, no Shadow Walker. And the forced jump attacking limits your maximum damage output, especially against bosses that require a lot of repositioning. Nightwalker is a very good class though. Self-bind, self-door, has an iframe, most lines in the game, but has that big downside of the forced movement. I mean, assuming you have mastery over the class, it may not be that big of a downside. But it's still a very strong class. Because of the amount of lines, and you know, it has a backstep too, small short one. And it does have the self-door and iframe. They're kind of long cooldown though, so that with the lack of Shadow Walker makes it, you know, a bit squishier. It still does have regular dark side, so it can survive, but you're not doing damage while on dark side. Iframe is a burst skill? Yeah. Get in a move, you can control it. Okay, so Nightwalker is up there for sure. Cool, this is S. Hero Zero. I kind of have to hold my opinion for Zero because I really know nothing about it. I think last time I put it high because you guys said it, but I literally know very, 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 very little. All I knew previously was they were weak because they lacked lines, but now they have lines. I don't really know quite enough. Paladin? S? Probably not. Paladin's decent though. Evan S? Think so? Kaiser. I was thinking about Kaiser. Mechanic? No. Not quite. I guess we should put Hero up. Where is Hero? Hayato. This is Pally, Mihail, DRK, Downware. Where's Hero? Here. Hero. Hero, high damage, high burst. 2 forms of super stance. Cryvalhalla and the impenetrable skin. World Reaver, relatively short cooldown iframe. It's a damage skill too, but yeah. It's here mainly because of the damage, I would say. The high burst. But it can still survive. Okay. Hayato. Hayatos are now kind of capped by lines. Here it's pretty easy to cap damage due to lack of lines. They still do a lot of damage. Mobility wise, they have like dashes, iframe, the moon skill. Is there a second one? Second iframe? The dash isn't an iframe, is it? Phantom? I would say Phantom is good, but not super good. Maybe an A. So Hayato, it does have an iframe, at least one. I don't know that much about it. It's a strong class. Fire Poison, S. Just because of sheer damage, like Nightwalker, you would say, or Nightlord. Lots and lots of damage. I've seen some videos of Fire Poisons and just the noise it makes. 2 iframes. I'm trying to think of what the second one is. Is it the dash one? The first one? The first frame of that dash? Kitokiri? Okay, so that's the dash. Well, I guess it has like a million dashes, but that's like the slashing one. 2 iframes. Some decent mobility. There's like dashes and like the spinning forward thing can go through Lotus lasers too. Up jump? I don't think it has any mid-air suspension. Okay, anyway. Fire Poison, just sheer damage, kind of like Night Lord, I guess. Just the amount of damage it outputs. Survivability wise, I think it's just ethereal form, but lots and lots of damage. And what else is S? Kaiser maybe? I'm not super sure about Kaiser. Does? What is it? DRK. Okay, thank you, Boxer. S. Bishop? So Bishop is... I mean, I guess if you cap everything, it's alright for damage. Survivability wise, Shell. Door. DRK. What else can we say is S? Evan? I'm not sure about damage output for Evan. Evan damage output? I'd imagine it'd be decently high. You can keep like wind blades or something on the boss pretty much at all times. Though those skills don't do a lot of damage necessarily. You can ride the dragon for an iframe and have forays. Technically long range, with a new skill too. I don't know if it's S. I would say maybe A. If I knew more about the damage, and it was like high damage, then maybe I would say S. Mule. Who else is S? How about Kaiser? I'm not sure about their damage output, but they have a pretty, well, I think the iframe is relatively short cooldown, 60 or something. Debuff? Yeah. That's only for magic attacks too, I think. Kaiser has at least one iframe. Attacks quickly. You can teleport around in final form. Would you consider it in line with this? The S's? CD resets. That's true. Yeah, current GMS live patch. The downsides. I'm not so sure about the hitbox anymore. I think it's probably pretty good. Up here, maybe. Cannoneer doesn't deserve S. Kaiser does. Black Mage. This is not Black Mage specific. It's like Hardlomian and beyond. Pathfinder. Pathfinder is in a pretty good spot now, I would say. It's been nerfed damage-wise, but well, I don't know. It's got decent mobility. The newest patch, now they don't, when they die, they don't lose Ancient Force or the gauge when they die. They keep all their dash stacks. They keep the Ancient buff too. I don't know, I think it's probably lower. Its iframe is like 2 minutes and it's a burst skill. You have the shield, but it's like a 3-minute cooldown. The damage, I think it's okay. Respectable. It has decent mobility though. I think A maybe. It's gotten hit by a lot of damage nerfs. Its new skill, it's okay. I think it's probably A. Solo hard Damien. Solo, in-game solo, or late game? I would consider that probably in-game. Well, I guess it depends on how fast you do it. If you do it in like less than 15 minutes, you're in-game. If you do it in like 30 minutes, you're late game. Pathfinder. I think Pathfinder is solid. The list, again, the difference between the tiers is probably not that huge per se. The link, I don't know if this directs you directly to mine, but here. This one is not complete though. I had to add in Adele and Ho Young, so. Macro fix? I thought it was fixed. It's like consistent damage. Okay, solo 115. Oh, maybe not that then. I don't know. Okay, let's move on. This will never get done. S tier. Who else is in S? Someone's to Shadower. They did get a big line increase now. I think their iframe is kind of short cooldown. It's just a little hard to pull off. Wind Archer? Yeah, for sure. Wind Archer is insane. How high is Shadower? Wild Hunter? Shadower. Let me look at some other classes that I'm maybe more familiar with first. Xenon, TB, Phantom, Avenger. Avenger's pretty solid now since the new patch. Dawn Warrior with the lines. Does Dawn Warrior have an iframe? Oh, it's the explosion thing, the eclipse. At the beginning and the end? Outside of that, is there anything else? We're not sure in Reg? No. We're not sure soloed hard will already on EU Reboot. Known other. Okay. Similar? We're just behind on patches. Other than that, we have faster attack speed. Dash? The TP thing? What's an iframe? Invincibility frame. Just invincibility in general. Downward. S tier. That single line change put them into S just for damage output? You think so? Is the burst that big? I mean, I saw the numbers, there's a lot of lines, but is that enough to propel it? What about just like the main attack going up and down? Perma-capping? The output is already high. Okay. I mean, I saw the line increase, but again, I'm not too familiar with the class. I'll say what would be holding them back from SS would be, you know, less iframes and the force mobility, kind of like Nightwalker. Or sometimes if you're up and down, you're gonna get killed, or you gotta like move yourself away. ping gate too. Gotta have a good ping. S tier DRK. I mean, in Dark Knight soloed hard will, but that's not really the only standard, right? Dark Knight is kind of interesting. I don't think I would rate it super high though. Yeah, it's very good at like one specific thing. Because of the very long iframe duration. What else do we got here? DS bind is slower. Alright, what else we got? We got... Who else is maybe an S? Zero maybe? All I know about Zero is that it looks pretty high mobility. I'm not sure how many iframes it has. It has like this wonky bind that happens semi-often. It used to be line capped, now it's not, but then I heard they got nerfed again. And like all the zeros are lying down. So maybe you guys can opine on that. Lesser classes I know better. Anything S? Thunderbreaker? Thunderbreaker. Pretty good mobility. You can have a lot of dashes you can utilize. You have your whale iframe. Is that the only one? Your combos are pretty simple. Pretty simple burst. You like pop that one skill and then... I mean, your burst is always just like rotating 2 skills. And that's it. S rank though. TB? Familiars as a part of a badge? Nope. There's familiars that drop that are part of no badge. Full map attack. Shadow. Rain. 3 shadow rains. Locks you in place. Latch or choo-choo? Yeah, the Arcane River ones only drop in Lumina or Tenebris right now. I feel like they'll eventually get added over time. I don't know. I think TB is pretty good, but maybe not quite S. Why not S? I don't know. There's not that many TBs. Where's Flarbs? Flarbs? Can't even think of another high level TB. Desolence. A. I think we'll keep it for A right now. Alright. Let's move quicker. Alright, let's slap these down here. You know, I don't know. After watching what's his name? Dubsley plays BT boss with it a bit more. It seems useful. I don't know how much damage it is though. I'm not sure how geared he is. They kind of nerfed it recently though. They took away a lot of passives. You can like kill Damien balls and Lucid's flower and stuff. I guess that's not very high importance though. Yeah, I guess it's probably still down here. It has some iframes though, and like a full 30-second iframe. Like as a class, it's not that bad. I think the problem is like the damage is kind of low. Yeah, as a class, it's actually not that bad. I feel like when you're doing the pound thing with the bear, you have like perma damage resist or reduction and stuff. It's actually not too bad. Output a lot of consistent DPS, put down the fire, but drop down little fort, and just like start attacking. Zero and reboot later. You can't move. You can move slightly, very slowly. That's the thing though. You have like a percentage damage reduction when you're attacking. So you can survive anything that's like 100% damage if you're full health. but I think the issue is like the damage is kind of low. Okay, where's Jett? Jett. Here. Jett, I think the damage is still an issue, right? They're still missing, is it still missing a node? Jett, I think they really screwed the bossing damage in the last adjustment. Can't dodge debris. You have iframe. If you're fast, maybe you could like switch forms for APQ, when I can like dash through the wall or something. 190% speed? Oh. I think the issue with Jett is damage. Does it have an iframe? I think it has one of those like explosion skills. Hurricane taps box. I think the main problem with Jett is damage. Outside of damage, like for bossing, if you weren't aware right now, Jett is like super easy to level for Legion. Planet Buster does a ridiculous amount of damage. I got mine to level 220 with like the worst gear of all my 220s. I just like maxed Planet Buster on 3 trinodes, and it just one-shot everything the whole way. So it's very strong for training, minimally geared, but that doesn't quite translate to bossing. Okay. Moving on. How about Shadower? Shadower, it sounds great. You have multiple dashes, relatively short cooldown iframe. I think it's conditional though, you had to like have a certain amount of stacks or something. You don't have stance, you do have advanced dark sight. I mean, you can just use Mihail, of course. Line-wise, they're getting a line buff. It seems like Smokescreen is like worthless, to be honest. It doesn't seem to block very much at all. Why isn't Assassinate? That's true. Meso Explosion got double lines. I think this should be a solid class. I don't know if it's S though. Why not? Would I really put it next to like Night Lord, Nightwalker, Hero and stuff? I don't think so. I don't know how significant the line increases though. Are they outputting like tons of damage? Stay in Dark Sight. True, as does Shadow Veil, right? Current KMS, yeah. Double increase. S after lines. Yeah, I just don't know how much it does now. Utility wise, it's got a lot of different utilities. Do you compare it to, would it really be on the same tier as Night Lord? Maybe. This will come back. Right, should hurry up. We have a lot of classes to cover. How about we do some easier ones? I think mechanic's pretty solid now. Solid as in like as of current KMS patch. They're like farming got nerfed because of Lucid Soul and stuff, but like it has a lot of lines. Your mobility is kind of interesting, and your damage is kind of weird. Like a lot of your damage comes from missile battery. Your burst is a lot of lines, but it renders you immobile. You can have the little teleporter thingy. You increase the damage of your party. Your giant robot thing can reduce damage. I think it's solid. I think it's decent as of current patch. Bowmaster. Alright, let's go to easy ones actually. Easier ones. Phantom. I think Phantom's still fine. Wind Archer? Yeah, of course. Of course. Alright, let's go with like Corsair. Corsair. Does Corsair have an iframe? I think the ship thing is an iframe, right? The V skill. Maybe. Corsair is weird. A lot of summons. Some mobility. The like cape up jump. Main attack is a hurricane. The bullet party thing is weird. It's our biggest burst. Yeah. 5 minutes? Yeah. I don't think Corsair's in a great spot. You don't really see anyone looking for a Corsair for their party. It's worse than before. I did not have fun on mine. Okay. Moving on. Kinesis. Kinesis is a really interesting class. I just think it kind of lacks like true burst damage. It has almost everything actually. You can like walk in the air. Your iframe's not that long of a cooldown. It's like 2 minutes. And you can cancel the iframe, freezing the animation while still maintaining the iframe, which is great. They have a lot of debuffs. They have stance as a mage. They have decent mobility. That meteor thing is kind of a TP. You can like meteor through the Lotus lasers as well. Can debuff some buffs. I don't think that's relevant in hard bosses though. I think it's like a decent amount of lines. A lot of consistent damage with like BPM and Mind Over Matter. The dodecahedron is up kind of a lot. You have to kind of control it though. You have a bunch of stationary things like drain and the IED debuff. You have a lot of debuffs. Like 2 IED debuffs, damage over time. Drain. I think it kind of lacks like a big burst damage. It does a lot of decent, consistent damage. I think it's okay. It's pretty good. Probably not S. Meteor iframe? No, you can still die during it. Okay. Avenger. As of current KMS patch. I think they survive a lot better now and they have one of the best new skills. Yeah. Power elixirs. Scaling. Yeah, I think Demon Slayer is in a good spot. Better spot? Maybe not a great. I'm not too sure about the KMS meta. Are they S now though? Or would they be A? Maybe you guys can fill me in, but I'll keep you here for now. Pathfinder only A? Yeah. Reboot's hard? That's true. Reboot is hard. Blaze Wizard. Didn't Blaze Wizard get owned in the new patch? D is S. POV. Unkillable. Really? B for Blaze Wizard. The giant fireballs in iframe. They have sort of a TP. Got the party damage skill. Why is it not A or S? TP's Blaze Wizard is not really a burst class, right? It's just like more consistent. Shooting off fireballs, just like damage over time. BT does double Jett damage? I didn't know. Support? Buccaneer? Probably A. Buck. Buck is just like pure consistent damage. They have, I think, one iframe when they do meltdown as they cast the balls. Mobility wise, they can like sort of dash. They can dash during meltdown. Slightly less than one archer. No, I wouldn't consider Pathfinder comparable to one archer. New skills and iframe. Oh yeah, the punch thing. One punch. Pathfinder bad burst? Yeah, kinda. Pathfinder's very good consistent damage. Certainly doesn't have more survivability than Wind Archer though. Wind Archer is also like consistent damage actually, but just that survivability is insane. Counting fourth? Yeah. Sorta. It's a factor to consider. Again, this is not a perfect list obviously. It's just my thoughts. Because I guess sometimes when I mention a class, like, oh, you think it's good? Like, why? Well, here's why. Let's watch this very, very long video. Mobbing? No mobbing at all. It's not about mobbing. This would look quite different if it was mobbing. Alright. Go, 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 go. AB. AB. Damage reduction when you spin. Iframe when you pop your heart. Sort of animation locky with Trinity. Decent amount of burst. Some buffs, a debuff. Short dash. Very fast flash jump, or far fast jump. Use skill, shell super stance for AB. DA bind is faster. Party 6% fountain support. Party portal, keep it in A. No, it still has a lot of lines, and now it has like the hover skill. Those are factors, but it still like outputs a decent amount of damage. AB super stance, 13-second. How long does it last? The new skill for AB. Isn't it kind of like DB where it just like auto casts itself every once in a while? I think. Fusion. I mean, I think AB is good. Trinity arrow key. Souls? Yeah, soul seekers. I feel like they're slightly better than A, but maybe not this. ABs. Would you say AB is like a hero or Nightwalker or Lumi? I don't think so. I think it's probably a bit lower. I think I had it higher last time. Why not? I don't know. I think just like feeling wise, I don't feel like it's like equivalent to these other classes. My feelings. More DPS than Nightlord have more utility? I think that's conditional. And it can depend on the boss. Nightwalkers need some setup and they can't attack in Dark Sight. I'd say it's the two biggest differences. Nightwalker's good though. That's what I say. Yeah, Shadowwalker is so strong. So very strong. Okay. Quickly. We still have like half the classes left. Liam. I've heard a lot of good things about Liam currently. It's also a weak spot for me though. Ice Lightning. Ice Lightning got a lot of improvements. I feel like I need one more bracket actually. I know how to do it. Forget. Okay, Blaster. I'm not sure how much damage Bowmaster outputs. Seems like a really cool class. A lot of passive skills that you cast and forget, sorta. In a corner, not move. That's true. Lightning Orb. I forgot the skill, the lightning skill that like chains. They nerfed that skill so bad. I think they unnerfed it slightly, right? Used to do full damage on every hit. It's crazy. Bolt Barrage, right? Yeah, I think Ice Lightning is kind of average. Below average? Too conditional for max damage. The new skill is fine though, it's kind of like a pseudo poison. Damage over time. Better than your bishop. Ice Lightning does have the slow ability too, and they can utilize the iframe. I think I watched Monk's hard Lotus solo, and like the boss could never even like catch up to him. Just like it's so slow. It seemed pretty good, but that's one specific boss. I don't know if I put in B, but is it really on par with these others? I think it's okay. I feel like I wish there was something in between. It's not that bad. I mean, it's better than a Corsair. Maybe up here. Corners. Ran. Why does your curse last 1 second, Dodger? That potion thing? The green potion? Buck and Corsair are worse, are they? Shadower. Bowman. Marksman. You think Bowmaster... Is Bowmaster good enough to be an S now with the new survivability? Focus Fury whenever I attack, my status resistance increases. Wait, you've already done Black Mage. As a Bowmaster? Your curse lasts for 1 second? Nani? Why do people hate bucks? They've been nerfed like all the time. Literally 1 second? Alright, I need to just like make some decisions. I'm spending a lot of time. It's already an hour long. Alright, let's go. 100 resist? Really? That's interesting. Buck is B? Really? Why is Buck so bad? I thought its damage was still like okay. It can like dash around super fast. No damage? Really? You guys seem pretty adamant on that. I don't know enough to dispute it, so I'll follow suit, I suppose. Alright, let's see. Mihail. I mean, it does have a lot of survivability. Arguably the most. How's the damage though? Mihail. The new skill. What was the new skill? I don't recall. Something sword related. More shields? Oh yeah, it's like party shield or something. Redirection. It sounds good on paper. Okay, I gotta just start placing. It's taking too long. Alright, Avenger. From what Vinji described, it sounds pretty good. Way more survivability for sure. Not a consistent damage with burst with the new skill. Very long cooldown. Bowmaster. In-game? Yeah. When you're in-game and you're full geared and you can't do something that someone else can, then it matters, right? As easily? Really? In the current patch? It is a pretty short cooldown to recharge the images. Alright. I'll bite. Marksman? A at best? Where did I put Marksman? Oh, I put it in S? That's wrong. Oh, I already put Bowmaster. Marksman is like one iframe. You have to like move around far away. Come on to Marksman. Shadower with the new improvements. I think it's a possible S. I'm kind of lacking knowledge. It's literally double lines. Some attacks are faster. I think played properly, it should be pretty good, right? Maybe I'll check it out on my main. Job change time. Alright, 0. I think it should be solid. Lots of mobility, iframes, spines. I'm just not so sure about the damage wise. So I think they got nerfed recently. Something with energy or something. Peasants. Let's move faster. DRK. It seemed lackluster. Battle Mage? I think they're probably solid A. Very good support. But very conditional. The survivability is not that bad, honestly. Party shield. Not so sure about true iframes. They can upjump the rolling meteors in Black Mage. Another tier? I did it last time, I don't remember how. Oh crap. Okay. Like that. I had another tier here last time. Pains champ. Alright, maybe that helps a bit more. Blaze Wizard, Corsair, BT, same row? Really? Is BT still good? I mean, from what I've seen, it seems good. I just don't know about the damage. I know they got nerfed damage-wise. Not so sure about the damage output. Jett must be alone. Alright, fine. B's, A's. BT better significantly. Blizzard's B as minimum? You sure? Alright, what about Wild Hunter? You guys talked it up a lot, but I don't know. It's a good party buff. 1 iframe? Damage wise, Jaguar dependent? It's probably like A. Way better? Yeah, that's what I thought. I mean, not way better, but I think it should be like slightly better. B or C? Selly hates it? It's kind of line capped a lot. In my mind, where is a Wild Hunter? Corsair tier? That can't be true. I think it's okay. Let's see what Matt does. I see a lot of cap lines, but that's kind of natural, especially for non-reboot. Xenon should be like an A, I think. Decent amount of lines, very long iframe, good mobility, can fly. Bam is better than Wild Hunter. Let's reflex it. Dark Knight. Probably A, along with Pally. It's not Pally. Both A's in their own ways. I think Paladin's probably better than Dark Knight. Dark Knight is very good at using Final Pact or whatever. Lines wise, I guess it has enough lines. IED for DBs? I don't know. B for Dark Knight? Dark Knight. I feel like it lacks burst. You have like the Evil Eye, Dark Spear, and then you're just like pressing down Gungani or whatever. Descent. It's very good at hard will solo, I guess. I think it's like in between. I think it's okay though. I'll keep it here. Marksman. Mihail. Unless they're doing a lot more damage than I think Mihail's down here. A? Does it do enough damage with the new skills and stuff? Can't be counted out because it was support. Where's Mega? Iran A? Dude, watching a good Iran play is insane. Like the mobility, you got like up jump, like micro adjustments mid-air and stuff. It's gonna get its own self-bind. Looks like a pretty short cooldown iframe. Iran looks kind of insane, honestly. Maybe even S tier, actually. I don't know. Iran seems quite good. That's also a hero class. Yeah, Iran actually seems really good. Maybe S. Not insane? It looks insane. At least on non-reboot. Would I put it with these guys? I think I might, honestly. I don't know. You main it? Yeah, it seems like a pretty good class. Jaguar Storm DCs the party. I think Phantom's still an A. It's a bit hard to fund on reboot, but I think it's still like a pretty good class. Very versatile, you can choose what skills you want. Damage output still like very high for a short while at least. I think Phantom's still like pretty good, but not quite top of anything. Kind of cheese yours with the you steal time leap or whatever. Mercedes, crazy burst. It's getting some more survivability with the iframe. Very high burst though. I would say Mercedes is kind of similar to AB in my mind. Somewhere over here. Again, the order is not too strict. What's iframe? Invulnerability, essentially. Yeah, this is going to be a very long video. Ilium, I've heard good things about the new Ilium. I keep giving it improvements. Bishop. Bishop seems solid still. Very good, obviously super good for bossing, party bossing. Highly desired. Although having multiple kanas sometimes seems useful too. Biased? Thought Shade need more lines? Not anymore. They just got their lines, man. They're getting 50% more lines for us in GMS that KMS already has. Their Spirit Gate is getting more lines. Everything's already has more lines now. This is the future. Alright. Marksman. Marksman seems a bit mediocre to me. The new skill seems nice. I would almost put him in B though, but maybe A. Ran you 4th help stack combo. Good adrenaline fast. Domain tick for 3 while attacking. Install Maha plus 100. Don't have to sacrifice domain. Blaster. Ooh, Blaster's hard. I think as a class is fine, but it's, you know, so hard to play. Probably A. Ilium. I hear a lot of good things, but I don't know what they are specifically. The new skill looks good now. Maybe an A, from what I hear. I see your S Merc A if they both have insane burst. Hero Survive's better. More survivability. Mercedes. Yeah, it's not perfect. Again, some of these lines could be blurred in terms of like between S and A or A and B. There's some blurring, of course. I would say just the SS tiers kind of stand above everything else. The other classes like A and S, they could be some mingling here, and A to B, and so on and so forth. Contact boost node, getting more lines, it matters a lot. Mihail? Maybe A or B. But when I think of no though, I think I'll just keep it here. Alright, so that's my tier list for in-game bossing, solo, party, as of current KMS patch, trying to take into account all the new skills and the nerfs and the buffs. Again, this is not perfect. I do not know everything. In fact, I know my knowledge is very limited, but I think this is the best I can do. So we kind of went through every class and why they're where they are, and why I think they are there. Hoyoung? Oh, up here in SS. Hoyoung and Adele. They're not on this tier list, so I kind of took their image and then moved them there manually. Kind of scuffed, but there you have it. Late game tier is similar to this. That's fine. NBA? Nothing. Y shade is SS. Backstep, teleport, iframe, status resist, self-bind, split, consistent damage, high mobility, Freuds. Yeah, Hoyoung is actually crazy. Such high burst. Such, if you can find a skilled one, like they have really, really high mobility too. Was hero only S? Hero? No self-bind. Limited invulnerability. Long cooldown on burst. Why is Bowmaster higher than Pathfinder? More survivability, I would say. I think Bowmaster has higher damage, honestly, than a Pathfinder. Higher for both? With the new skill. Highest burst? I don't know. I'm not sure. Alright, so that's my list. There you go.